We found it interesting that after all the controversy in Brownwood over the water tower that's needing to be replaced, that they did it again here at Sawgrass. Okay, Jan, here I come.
Are they open?
I don't know. Let's check it out and see.
I see.
So we're going to walk around and see what they have here. That's not open, but looks like it's going to be pizza. Over here, the Villages has their Villages Grown. They have a couple of these stores in the Villages. They try to do fresh and locally grown food here. In the center, they've got a bar. This is the Villages after all. That is an ice cream shop, not yet open. It's just about 11 o'clock here. This is the pro shop where you would check in if you were golfing the Southern Oaks Golf Course. I'm sure we'll take a peek in there. Coffee shop. Bathrooms, of course, we're always looking for a bathroom after we have a few beers. Let's see what this area is. I don't know what this is going to be. Obviously, it's still a work in progress.
I started looking at the jams and the sauces over there, so.
Cool. This is going to be a local butcher market. That would be refreshing. Fresh meat. Here, we've got sandwiches, fish tacos, and lobster rolls, it looks like. And Willie's, I'm not sure what that is. So we'll take a look and see. Let's see, Willie's, there's burgers and salads. And then we're back to the beginning. So it's kind of like a food court. So we take this moment to interrupt our formally scheduled program to thank one of our viewers who actually stopped us out there at the rec center. That was so nice.
Ditto, Debbie. It was very nice to have someone say, hey, I enjoyed your video. Thank you to that viewer, and you made our day. Made us both smile. Thank you.
All right, guys, so we recorded some video inside the Sawgrass Market, and we're going to show it, although there's a lot of background noise. It's really loud in there, but that is truly how it sounded. It was very loud in there.
Very echoey. It's very nice, but there's a lot of refrigeration going on, so there's and then people come in and out and talking, and
yeah. But there were very few people there when we were there, so just imagine it's definitely not going to be a quiet place. If you're looking for a quiet place to have a conversation, that's not going to be the place to go. So anyway, but very fun, cool outdoor market, or
shiny
indoor
and
market.
Shiny and new.
All shiny and new, and there's still a lot of stuff, obviously, you can tell, being done behind us. So anyway, but we're going to show it, and sorry about the extra noise. All right, so here we are sitting in the Sawgrass, I would say, food court. They have this, and the McGrady's pub is across the way. We're going to check that out too. But right now we're sitting in the food court. Had a beer, as you saw.
Yep. I had an IPA.
And I had Orange Blossom Pilsner, which is good.
Yummy.
Refreshing.
It's in a very big glass, so be careful.
Yeah, I think these are the 16 ounces, and but they are, I think mine was $6 or $7, and yours was $6 or $7. So,
but it's a large pour. I mean, when I saw the $6, I'm like, that's a lot for beer, but it's in a big glass.
Yeah, but they're kind of getting to Chicago prices.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So anyway, we thought we'd let you guys know about some of the things that are going on locally here. Right now, one of the headlines is that the Villages is purchasing, or has already purchased land, but they've already put in for an application for 3,000 more homes to be built. And that is in the southwestern section of the Villages. So still the Southern Oaks area, and it would be west of the Turnpike. So in my
Yeah.
mind, we're going more toward Coleman Prison again, right?
Yes, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
And they've been moving, like, you can't say they've been moving dirt because they've been moving sand and burning trees and it's wild when you drive by there. Sometimes I get lost.
Yeah, it's
Because
interesting.
I don't know
when-
where I am.
Yeah, and when you come up the highway, up the turnpike from Orlando, it's amazing to see the growth because
Oh,
you couldn't see the villages from the turnpike
No.
way back when
No.
we moved here, and now it feels like it's halfway to Orlando, and someday maybe we'll take over Orlando.
And if you buy that house online, make sure that turnpike is not in your backyard.
Yes, because there have been a lot of complaints from people who have purchased homes and they didn't realize that the turnpike ran right in their backyard, and they want them to raise the berm or make it more quiet. Well, trust me, you guys, the turnpike's been there. They're not doing anything.
And don't take your cart on the turnpike because someone tried that and got arrested.
She did do that.
Say it.
So anyway, so that's one of the headlines.
And another is the Polo season is opening again. They have Polo on Fridays and Sundays. And it's, even if you don't know anything about Polo, it is a pretty cool thing. Watching those horses run like that and those people still staying in the saddle and they're beautiful animals. And it's $20
$20 cash per person.
And it's just a fun day. And then, after so many chuckers, I know there's chuckers, and my son-in-law knows all about sports.
It's kind of like the games. The
Yes,
chuckers are kind
yeah.
of like the games.
You can go out and fix the divots just like they do like in England or in Pretty Woman or whatever. I did not partake.
You stomp the divots, and actually, we haven't gone this year, just started, but when we went before, they would give you free champagne if you stomp the divots. So basically, you've got to walk
I didn't
across the
know
polo
that.
field, and then they give you a little glass. I'm sure it's a little glass, and I'm sure it's cheap champagne, but anyway, it's some champagne if you stomp the divots. They're trying to incent you to put the
Put them back.
The holes back together.
And I'm a little clumsy, and I know I would step in something I didn't want to. So that's why I stayed off. But for champagne, I might step in some.
And it's on Fridays at 3 o'clock and Sundays at 1 o'clock. Those are the two times. And they do this season in fall and in spring. And I think this runs usually till December. I could be wrong. And then I think it kind of stops about mid-December. And then they pick up again in spring. People have asked me why they don't do it during the summertime. They think it should run year-round. I mean, those poor horses, they work up a sweat. It's hot, yeah.
The horses are hot.
Yeah, and they work up a sweat, so.
But it's a fun thing to do, and a fun thing if you have guests.
Yes.
To go do, because not a lot of people are exposed to polo.
No, and you tailgate there. So what you do is you bring your own wine and cheese and things like that, and everybody brings their own snacks and stuff. And so it's just a fun way to spend the day. And I think it's like 2 hours. I forget. It's been at least a year or two since we've gone to one.
When we did it, when you could take your cart on the other side and sit in it, but you were saying that they don't do that anymore.
No, that you can do the carts. You just can't take your cart. Last year, they were not allowing any automobiles. You had to take your golf cart, and so they weren't allowing any parking over there by the polo field. So it was only golf carts. So don't know if that'll hold true this year. We'll kind of have to see. It's just opening, so we'll see how that goes.
Okay, check that out.
That's the next thing. Also in the recent news is they are building a new rehab hospital down here very close to where we are at Warm Springs and Medicine Road. Medicine?
Yeah.
Medicine.
Yeah, I don't know. How do you say that?
You're probably right, Medicine.
I'll look it up in the dictionary.
But it's a 50-bed hospital, but it's a rehab hospital. So they say it's got 24-hour nursing care and all of that. And so that'll be helpful because part of the situation here is it's an aging community, it's a growing community. And so the problem with that is when you combine those two things, if you don't have more medical facilities, you kind of end up with a pinch and hardships on the hospitals.
Right, yeah. And, there's pickleball injuries and softball injuries and you pull something, you break something. So that'll be nice.
Yeah, it's a very athletic community, so
It is.
injuries do happen for sure.
For sure.
So.
Another thing is just because Hurricane Ian just went through, a few little sinkholes have opened up. And two of them are on El Diablo, El Santiago, and they're pretty good size. And there's also a smaller one on Lopez, on number 2, Aaron. And then there was another one that was starting even before
It's been there. It's kind of reopened.
Ian,
It seems like,
it reopened, and now you can't really see it because it's full of water from the hurricane. But
yeah, number 6 of Ashley.
that makes people very nervous when you hear sinkhole. And we usually get calls from people like, "Are you close to the sinkhole?" And the insurance is. Some people got a hold of insurance for sinkholes, but then you argue with the insurance company whether it was a sinkhole or a broken line
Plumbing
or
problems,
plumbing
yeah.
problem. So then you have a battle. So,
But like everything else, the insurance companies are going to argue away what they can. So, but is it a concern? So a lot of our friends have said, like, are you worried your house is going to get swallowed up? Honestly, I think in the villages, I've heard of maybe at the most, the 2 biggest ones were the ones on Lopez, and that was like 3 or 4 years ago, that actually they were condemned.
yeah.
But I think I can only think of maybe 4 homes. Now, it doesn't mean that I've heard of everything either, but I can only think of maybe 4 homes entirely.
It's usually a water main break that's underneath that. I mean, because we're on sand.
Yeah.
And it shifts and all the rain, and it's probably going to happen.
Yeah. And that leads us to another recent topic, which is not fun: insurance premiums. Our insurance premium, I know we did a video on our expenses and our insurance premiums. Mine, the prior year, was about $1,400, I think it was, and now it doubled almost. It's $2,500 this year.
I haven't got mine yet.
And yeah, it's kind of scary because a lot of people were being threatened if they didn't replace their own roofs that they were going to cancel. So it's created a lot of stress here in the villages. And now they're saying with these hurricanes, it's going to raise our premiums even more. And even though we're not on the coast, we will all pay for it.
It's all put in a big bucket, so we're paying for it also.
And honestly, you may be too, depending on where you live. I don't know if they spread that throughout the U.S. to try and make it a little less impactful. Because we had always talked about that with New Orleans. New Orleans floods all the time.
Yeah.
Like, you're below sea level.
Yeah.
And so it's not going to take much, right?
Yeah.
So,
But insurance companies like to spread it around.
Yeah.
So if you're with a big insurance company, you might need, who knows?
So yeah, ours just renewed in September. So we'll see what happens come next September.
Ours is December. So
Yours is due.
yeah.
So you might get a double whammy. Hopefully not,
Our
but
car
you might.
insurance went way up.
Yeah.
Way up. And I don't know what causes that. Maybe because I know it's expensive in Florida, but there's also a lot of older drivers. And again, they're spreading it around, even though we've not had any accidents.
Yeah.
Someone did. Anyway, that's insurance.
And the last newest item that I can think of that has been kind of the talk of the villages is up north a little bit further, so near 466 and Rolling Acres. So that's Lady Lake area. And the Lady Lake area has agreed to some apartments up there, and then more land is being purchased by more people that want apartments. And Rolling Acres is a 2-lane road, and it gets congested because it's basically everybody's joint from 466 to 441. It's like the closest, the fastest, the shortest route. There's a school on there. There's a bunch of businesses on there, and now they want to put more partners. They want to put some apartments up there. And so Lady Lake is, I guess, considering, because they said they had always had this little hometown feel. It's a small town. And I think some of the residents are now getting upset and unhappy about the fact that it's growing so quickly and getting congested and all that. So they're talking about putting a moratorium on things for 6 months. We'll see how that all plays out.
And also there's a lot of accidents there.
Yes, a lot at that
It is a
intersection.
nightmare. I mean, it really is to make that left-hand turn off 466 onto Rolling Acres.
Yeah.
And I don't know why they don't have just a turning one, but once that goes off, then you can go if no one's coming.
Yeah.
And there was a fatality here not too long ago, which is very, very sad. And it is just a mess. I try to stay away from it.
Yeah. But it is kind of the fastest way to get there, depending on where you live. So, but those are all of our recent topics. We're going to take a look around the rest of Sawgrass, see what's all going on around here. Take a look at McGrady's Pub, maybe look at their menu, maybe we'll have a bite to eat. But in the meantime,
maybe another beer.
Yeah. Meantime, we'll finish our beers here, and we'll catch up with you on the other side.
All right.
Welcome to the Ezell Rec Center. This is one of the newest rec centers down south in the Southern Oaks area, and he was one of the architects that designed many of the golf courses here in the Villages, and this was a tribute to him. As you can see, each of the meeting rooms are named after the different golf courses around the Villages. Then we walked across the street where you would find the Southern Oaks Starter Shack. That's where you would check in after you have checked in at the Golf Pro Shop for the 18-hole championship course. This is the most recent championship course that has been built in the Villages. As you can see, we've got friendly ambassadors just waiting to send you down the way. We ended up finding these limo golf carts in the parking lot. We're assuming that they belong to the Villages and are probably used by their realtors when they are touring homes with their homeowners, but we weren't sure, but it did look like there were some cobwebs on them, so they haven't been driven in a bit. So that concludes our day at Sawgrass. We did enjoy our visit. We did find that McGrady's was a bit expensive. We both had salads, which were delicious, so would definitely return. Beer was good. People were friendly down at the food court, and just enjoyed the day. It's great to see the Villages expanding. Have a great day. Thanks for watching, and like and subscribe.